Hi guys, today we're gonna make this lovely pillowcase using waste fabric. This lovely pillowcase. So you notice it's some kind of patchwork, but not the normal kind of patchwork, because as you can see I'm using huge chunks of fabric and not specific size of fabric. So I choose to do this because if you can see my chunks of fabric, you notice that if I cut them into specific shapes like squares or rectangles, then I'll end up having even more waste than I have, and I'm really trying to use the waste that I have to make something with it. So I'm gonna just take the huge chunks of fabric as they are, and I might even need to use the smaller pieces of fabrics that I have on my waste bag, and just try see where I can join them on this huge chunk. So I'm gonna make one huge piece of fabric using the different sizes of tiny bits of fabric, and then I'll cut it into one huge rectangle depending on the length of my pillowcase, on one huge rectangle that I'm going to use to make the pillowcase. So do not worry if you see me joining them from anywhere. All I need is a huge chunk of fabric that I can cut out a rectangle piece, or rather a rectangular piece from, to make my cover. Now again, my cover doesn't have a specific size of patchwork. It's very random fabrics, very random sizes, all joined up to make my cover, my pillowcase cover. So I have pinned them all. Notice that all the sides are pinned on the same side, as you can see, so that when I turn it, my right side is nice and even and soft. Everything is hidden inside. Now here's my finished product. So I've managed to join the chunks of fabrics that I had. Some of them are quite huge, which was a shock to me because I thought they were all waste. Yep, so I have one huge rectangle. I've cut it. This is twice the size of my pillowcase. Sorry, I've touched the camera unknowingly. So I'm gonna fold this rectangle with the right side facing to get each other. Notice that one side will be folded, so I just need to do 3 stitches on 3 sides, and then I'm gonna pin the 2 sides of my fabric. So I folded it again, the right side facing each other, and then I pin the 2 sides of the fabric, so that I have one side is a fold, 2 sides are pinned, and one side is an opening, as you can see. So I'm finishing off the folding. Yep, so the pinning, one side pinned, one side fold, and one side pinned, and then I have an opening on the 4th side. This is the opening I'm going to use to insert my pillowcase. So I'm gonna go and make the stitches and then come back and move on. So I've already done the stitches, and unfortunately it tilted my camera, so I'm gonna turn it the right side out. Remember, the right sides are facing each other, so the right side out, and then I'm gonna give it a good press again on the edges, like I'm showing you, so that it's nice and smooth. Give it a good press and then come back with my pillow and try to put it inside. So here's my pillow. I made this myself too using the waste fabric, so it's quite heavy. It's a floor pillow. I like to use it for my floor because it hurts my back when I rest my back on it. Made from from leftover fabrics, tiny ones that cannot make anything. So I put them inside and make one nice huge pillow. I'm gonna show you that in some other tutorial. But today, let us finish off our pillowcase. So you notice I'm pinning with the raw edges, tucking them in. I'm tucking the raw edges inside. Again, I'm going to give you a pretty big trick for this one. If you are closing it completely, then I'd advise you to use tuck stitch using your hands and a needle. Then you can be able to undo them and wash it whenever you feel need to do that. If you will use a zipper to close this last edge, you can do that with a sewing machine. Now, closing it up completely with a sewing machine is a bit cumbersome, and I'm going to show you what I mean, because the way it goes on one side and you can't really sew straight on a sewing machine, as you can see here. So I will undo this and do my tuck stitches with my hand and my needle, because I find that neater for my pillow cover. Yep, finishing it off, and I'm I'm gonna show you the final product. I won't show you the stitch, sorry. I've already mentioned to you it's gonna be horrible because the pillow keeps sliding to the heavy side, so the stitch is not quite straight. So I'm gonna do it with my bare hands using the tuck stitch. It's neater for this one, and then I need to undo it, and there's the finished pillow. Lovely. Thank you for watching. You can use this for your floor